Beside the town hall of Odessa, New Hampshire, there was a small donut shop called Max Donuts. It was on the outskirts of town, welcoming its customers into West Odessa. The west side of town is where a majority of the middle to lower class people lived. There was an obvious difference between the atmospheres of this area and the east side. Behind the shop, there were old, rundown houses separated by only droopy trees and bushes. Looking out of the front of the shop, you could faintly see the church bells that rang at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Rocky Johnson, the owner of Max Donuts, was inside making his famous donuts. It was about 7 o'clock in the morning, and he had already been up for 5 hours. He was surrounded by big iron ovens and fryers that were years old but were still in working condition. The walls were plain white and were covered with stains and scratches. In the back corner there was a small desk. Above it, there was an old framed picture of his ex-wife and 2 children who had left him 2 years earlier. The room was no larger than the average household kitchen. This was where he spent most of his life. He and his wife's relationship began to deteriorate 3 years before when another donut shop named Super Donuts had opened on the east side by a man named Jack Mayweather. At that time, Rocky, his wife, and his 2 kids were all living in a spacious house on the east side in a very respectable neighborhood. When Super Donuts opened, it caused Max Donuts to eventually get very near going bankrupt. In order to save money, Rocky and his wife made the decision to move to apartments on the west side of town. Because of the move, he developed a strong hate for Jack Mayweather. He became completely determined to take Super Donuts and run it out of town. As he progressively dug his company out of bankruptcy, he was losing his family. Eventually, his wife took their kids and left.